What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, even though Marvel Studios has been on a worldwide press tour for Deadpool and Wolverine for about the last 3 weeks, over the weekend is when they really started their in-person interviews, where they decided to let Kevin Feige loose on the interviews for once and gave him direct access to a ton of outlets that, while asking questions about Deadpool and Wolverine, also included a ton of questions about projects, some unannounced, which he gave a ton of amazing answers to in what really felt like a teaser for next weekend's San Diego Comic-Con slate announcements. In this video, we're going to talk specifically, though, about his mutant comments and the mutant era quote that he gave regarding what's going on with the MCU, starting now with Deadpool and Wolverine. And it really sort of paints a different picture than maybe we had once thought, where there may have been an indelible line between the Multiverse Saga and the Mutant Saga. It seems as though that's not the case. We're breaking it all down, Kevin Feige's latest comments about the mutant era and mutants coming into the MCU sooner than we thought. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We're still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel for every Marvel drop. The next one is next week with Deadpool and Wolverine. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. We're also going to announce a brand new winner for the Deadpool and Wolverine ticket giveaway. Also, my band Allfires is playing our very first show in Atlanta, Georgia on September 1st. So if you live in the area or you plan on being in town for one of the million things going on that weekend like Dragon Con, tickets are cheap, only $15 but limited, so we would love to see you guys at the show. I'll leave a link down in the description and in the comments, and if you do come by, make sure to stick around after the set and say hi. I'll definitely be hanging out. Okay, so as I mentioned during the prologue, Kevin Feige actually did a ton of interviews this weekend, but this report actually comes from the press conference as re-reported by the Playlist over on playlist.net, where they went on to say this, quote, "The rest of the press conference was relatively routine. How it was a love fest to work with one another, the cast and producers talking about how Deadpool and Wolverine is about friendship, should be seen on the big screen, and is, as Kevin Feige added, the most wholesome R-rated movie ever." But one answer did jump out as mildly interesting when Feige was asked about the importance of Deadpool and Wolverine to the future of the MCU and the potential before and after element it represents for Marvel at a kind of crossroads. In the second part of his answer, Feige addressed the X-Men finally being allowed into the Marvel Cinematic Universe thanks to Deadpool and Wolverine, and suggested that the Mutant Saga won't necessarily have to wait until after the Multiverse Saga, which ends with Avengers Secret Wars, is complete to begin. And for emphasis, I'm going to reiterate that sentence, quote, "Kevin Feige suggested that the Mutant Saga won't necessarily have to wait until the Multiverse Saga is complete to begin." Quote, "Also, the after is clearly... Now that we have the characters from the X-Men world, the mutants, we haven't had access to them before," he continued. "So this is the beginning of that, and every movie post Deadpool and Wolverine will be the mutant era coming into the MCU." Now look, to me that's about as clear as we're ever going to get it from Kevin Feige, that they are not waiting until Avengers Secret Wars and then starting with the Mutants X-Men reboot, that they're going to start bringing the X-Men in aggressively now, and Deadpool and Wolverine happens to be the conduit for that. I think it only leads to one huge question, and whether or not some of these Fox returning actors are actually going to continue to be the X-Men characters past Avengers Secret Wars. Look, we've all known, and for quite some time, that Avengers Secret Wars will probably be an enormous send-off and the last opportunity for any returning actor, from the Patrick Stewarts to the Wesley Snipes to even perhaps the Robert Downey Jr.'s of them all, one last hurrah as the Multiverse Saga ends before they recreate the multiverse. And I say that in the sense of the comic book sort of in-world theory, where at some point, if the multiverse is broken, they're going to have to recreate it. And in the Secret Wars comic from 2015 with Jonathan Hickman, that happened to be Franklin Richards via the power of the Beyonder. But before we get to that, and they sort of soft reboot the MCU with the characters going forward, do they bring in these prominent Fox X-Men actors to reprise their roles and then all of a sudden continue to be those characters? And yes, is Halle Berry going to be the Storm in the future of the MCU? Is Hugh Jackman's Wolverine going to be the future MCU Wolverine past Secret Wars? I think clearly the answer is no. I've thought that for quite some time. I think it makes it ultimately much harder to recast an MCU Wolverine when you've got Hugh Jackman back and sticking around presumably until the end of Secret Wars. And there's also the question of, do you start to introduce our own MCU variants alongside the Fox X-Men characters and have them in a world where they're existing? You've got 2 Wolverines, 2 Storms, 2 Beasts, and I definitely don't think that's the answer. So here's the big picture. We know the when. We know that Marvel Studios is clearly starting now and not waiting till the end of the Multiverse Saga to start focusing on the mutants and the X-Men in the MCU. We just don't know the how, and there are still question marks surrounding what Marvel Studios is going to look to do with whatever an X-Men team would look like, and before we get to the end of Avengers Secret Wars. Now, incidentally, we know that they're currently writing the X-Men reboot film, which we thought was years off, and again after the Multiverse Saga. I still think that that's the case, and of course we won't have much time to speculate on this because we assume that the San Diego Comic-Con announcement is at least going to get us through whenever Avengers Secret Wars happens, so we won't again have to talk about this for more than about a week, but it would be much easier for them to do an X-Men reboot film if it didn't also have to serve the Multiverse Saga, and for all the major films coming between now and then, especially for ones that are in pre-development, being written and are going to be released, say, over the next 3 years, they're all going to serve the Avengers story, Avengers 5, and then ultimately Avengers Secret Wars, which means it'll have to, at least for some part of the story, focus on the multiverse. Again, we know the when. We have zero idea on the how, and if you're expecting sort of the casting rumors to pop up the way they did from the Fantastic Four, keep in mind they are just now writing that film. They are a long way off of casting. Presumably they'd want to bring a director in on that as well. Do not expect to start hearing about the MCU casting popping up and soon, and hopefully at San Diego Comic-Con, like I said, we're going to find out if this X-Men mutant reboot film is before or after Avengers Secret Wars. I am so curious as to what's about to come with all the shifting and shuffling and what films are going to be added in projects. It's a super exciting time to be a Marvel fan. Speaking of which, guys, how hype are you for Deadpool and Wolverine now that we're less than 1 week away? I'm all ears as always, guys. Let me know what you think about this news and which characters do you think are absolutely necessary for them to bring in for the first X-Men film. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Okay, so first of all, let's announce a brand new ticket giveaway winner for Deadpool and Wolverine. At McCants007 for this comment here, I haven't been this excited for a movie since 2013's Man of Steel. Congratulations. Thanks so much for your support here at the channel. All you got to do, DM me on Instagram at IamFires or email me on my business email under the About section on this channel. I'll get you verified and get the tickets right out to you guys. We're going to do that a couple more days this week, and also the new PlayStation giveaway for the PlayStation 5 is on Friday, the day after Deadpool and Wolverine drops basically everywhere on Thursday. So if you want to be entered to win for that or any of the other future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced live at the end of videos just like we did today, and my voice live on the video, so please stay safe and vigilant on YouTube and really any other platform. Never give out your information on a third-party app like Telegram or WhatsApp. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on all platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.